Archaeologists who broke the seals of ancient Egyptian tombs found something extraordinary. They uncovered jars filled with a golden, viscous liquid. This substance had rested in the dark, undisturbed for over 3,000 years. It was honey. Incredibly, it was not just preserved, it was still perfectly edible. The find was a small but profound testament to the enduring power of nature. This ancient honey, a gift from bees to the pharaohs for their journey into the afterlife, held its sweetness and its essence across millennia. It raises a question for us, standing in the fluorescent-lit aisles of a modern supermarket. Why does the honey we see on shelves today seem so different? The honey in those ancient jars was a thick, often crystallized substance, smelling faintly of the flowers from which it came. In contrast, many of the bottles sold today contain a perpetually clear, uniform, syrupy liquid. They pour easily and never seem to harden, even in a cool pantry. These modern products often carry expiration dates. The difference between the pharaoh's honey and our supermarket syrup is not just a matter of time. It is a story of industrial processing, economic pressures, and a fundamental alteration of a natural food. The journey from the ancient tombs to our toast has changed honey in ways we are only now beginning to understand. Real honey is a masterpiece of natural preservation, a food engineered by bees to resist spoilage. Its longevity is not magic, but the result of specific scientific properties working in harmony. The process begins when a honeybee collects nectar from a flower. Nectar is primarily a sugary water solution which would spoil quickly on its own. Inside the bee, the enzyme invertase is added. It breaks down sucrose into simpler sugars, glucose, fructose. This is the first step toward a stable food source for the hive. It's a biological transformation that sets honey apart from simple sugar water. The bees then reduce the nectar's water content. They pass it from bee to bee, exposing it to the air, and fan it with their wings inside the honeycomb. This evaporates excess moisture until the water content drops from about 80% down to around 18%. That low moisture level is crucial. Bacteria, yeasts, molds cannot survive in such dryness. They're desiccated before multiplying. Hence, a properly sealed jar of honey is inhospitable to microbes. Beyond low water content, honey has another protector: acidity. Average pH is around 3.5 to 4.5, quite acidic. That acidity comes from organic acids, including gluconic acid produced by another bee enzyme acting on glucose. The acidic environment is hostile to most microorganisms. It acts as a secondary barrier, reinforcing low moisture. Finally, raw honey contains trace hydrogen peroxide. Bees secrete the enzyme glucose oxidase into nectar to help create it. In sealed, concentrated honey, it's mostly inactive, but when slightly diluted, as on a wound, it produces a gentle antiseptic. The journey from the hive to the industrial bottling plant often involves processes that fundamentally change honey's nature. The primary motivation is economic. To increase volume and reduce costs, some large-scale producers engage in stretching or adulteration, mixing real honey with cheaper sweet syrups. Corn syrup, rice syrup, beet sugar syrup, manufactured fructose-glucose blends. These additions are difficult to detect without sophisticated laboratory equipment. The resulting mixture can be sold at a much lower price than pure honey, creating unfair competition for honest beekeepers. This adulterated product is no longer the natural food bees worked so hard to create. It is a diluted imitation. While it may look and taste vaguely like honey, it lacks the complex profile of enzymes, acids, and micronutrients. Added syrups spike sugars without adding benefits. The clear, uniform liquid on the shelf may be a sign of manipulation. Another practice is aggressive heating, pasteurization. Real raw honey often crystallizes over time, natural and reversible, but many mistake it for spoilage. To keep product perpetually liquid and clear, large producers flash heat the honey, sometimes above 70 degrees Celsius, melting crystals and slowing their return. Heat aids microfiltration that removes pollen, wax, and other microscopic particles. This strips honey of its life. Enzymes like invertase and glucose oxidase are destroyed. Vitamins and antioxidants are degraded. With pollen gone, geographic and botanical origin can't be traced. Convenient for dubious blending. The product retains calories but loses what makes honey unique. The consumption of industrially processed and adulterated honey carries significant health implications, you know. When honey is stripped of its natural enzymes and beneficial compounds through high-heat pasteurization, it becomes little more than a simple sugar syrup. The living food is rendered inert, and, well, for individuals seeking wellness, this is a profound loss. Antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory benefits are diminished or eliminated. What remains is a high concentration of fructose and glucose that, when consumed in excess, can contribute to inflammation, weight gain, and insulin resistance. Undeclared additions like high fructose corn syrup can be particularly harmful, placing a metabolic burden on the liver and linking to broader health issues. Someone seeking digestive or immune support may, in fact, be ingesting a pro-inflammatory substance that exacerbates their condition. The health halo surrounding honey is only deserved when the honey is real. Beyond consumer health, fake honey devastates small local beekeepers. Beekeeping requires deep knowledge, constant care for colonies, and significant investment in equipment and time. Honest producers cannot compete on price with operations diluting product with cheap syrups. As shelves fill with artificially low-priced jars, many small beekeepers lose customers and livelihoods. It is a loss for community and ecosystem. Beekeepers steward bee health, essential for crop pollination. When they disappear, we lose their expertise and endanger the pollinators our food depends on. Europe is home to a rich diversity of honeys, each with a unique character derived from a specific botanical source. Understanding these varieties helps us appreciate real honey. One of the most prized is acacia honey. Harvested from black locust blossoms, it's pale, liquid gold with a mild, sweet flavor. High fructose to glucose ratio, so it crystallizes very slowly. Gentle on the digestive system due to low acidity. Recommended for soothing stomach complaints and for people monitoring blood sugar. Linden honey comes from fragrant blossoms. Distinctive, fresh aroma, almost minty or woody. Flavor bright and persistent. Cherished for calming properties. Used to soothe sore throats, calm coughs, and promote relaxation. A spoon before bed. Polyfloral honey is from many wildflowers, a snapshot of place and time. Color, flavor, and aroma vary by season and region. Considered a well-rounded tonic with minerals and antioxidants, an immune supporter, sometimes given to children to build strength and appetite. Finally, forest honey, honeydew or manna, not from flowers. Bees collect honeydew from sap-feeding insects. It's less sweet, richer in minerals and amino acids with complex sugars. Strong, malty, sometimes resinous, valued for powerful antibacterial properties, often used to support recovery, restore gut flora, and aid respiratory and bone health. Acacia, linden, polyfloral, forest. Each a distinctive expression of real European honey. While definitive proof of honey adulteration requires a laboratory, there are several simple, observational tests you can do at home. The first and most telling sign is crystallization. Real, raw honey almost always crystallizes over time. Thick, grainy, opaque, a natural process, not a flaw. If a jar remains perfectly clear and liquid for many months or years, it likely has been heat-treated or mixed with non-crystallizing syrups. Open and sniff. Real honey carries subtle floral, herbal, or woody notes. Fake honey smells one-dimensionally sweet or barely at all. On taste, real honey is complex and lingering. Adulterated is flat and fleeting. Drop a spoonful into cool water. Pure honey tends to sink as a cohesive lump or thick stream and resist dissolving. Adulterated syrups disperse quickly into cloudy trails. Read labels. Look for raw or unpasteurized. If ingredients list glucose fructose syrup or corn syrup, it is not pure honey. Beware vague terms like honey blend or product of more than one country. Best of all, identify the source. A label with the beekeeper's name and location signals transparency and authenticity. The choice between a cheap jar of industrial honey and a more expensive jar of local raw honey is more than a simple transaction. It echoes through our food system, our environment, and our own bodies. A bargain jar comes with hidden costs, paid by our health denied a living food, by honest beekeepers pushed out, and by bees losing their stewards. When you choose real honey, you make a conscious stand. You invest in your well-being, enzymes, antioxidants, and the complex goodness of nature. You support local agriculture and a sustainable craft. Visit a farmer's market, talk to beekeepers about their bees, hives, flowers, harvest, and bottling. Your money goes not to a distant corporation, but to a neighbor stewarding the environment, strengthening an honest local food economy. In the end, the story of honey is a bridge, connecting past, bees, and people. By choosing authentic honey, we protect our families, beekeepers, and the pollinators who make our world bloom.